Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Good to see you. But before we start, listen to this.
Subscribe to my Welcome to Dr. Bummy Able TV, where we inspire and inform you endlessly, with knowledge to guide, uplift, and grow. Thank you for joining, it's a journey, let's go. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. From wisdom to insight, each video's a gift, helping you rise, giving your spirit a lift. So hit that subscribe, stay tuned to see all the great things on Dr. Bummy Able TV. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. Dr. Bummy Able TV here for you. Inspire, educate, inform. That's what we do. Thanks for being part of this growing family. Let's keep shining together in unity.
Hello, 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 and hello again. You are welcome. We are behind the scene. Can you see us? You must. Don't worry. Yes, you are welcome here. Nice to see that people are waiting for us, waiting for what we have for Talk 5. Thank you very, very much. Thank you to our queens. They have been superb. I don't know how to thank them, but they have been dishing out every week, dishing out from the overflow. I'm so glad for you. Thank you, Queen Kafilat. Thank you, Queen Yinka. Thank you, Queen Kumbi. It is your first time today, Queen Kumbi, and I would like you to introduce yourself.
So good evening, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Abel, for having me around. This a huge, massive privilege. I'm very grateful. My name is Adekunbi Ajayi, and I live and work in the UK. I work as a lecturer in the FA College. My background is in chemistry, but over the years I've had to lecture things that are related to chemistry and a bit more. I'm married with two adult children, and I think I like my food. I think, and obviously, I'm a Christian. I want to thank God I'm a child of God.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I think I did justice to that.
Yes. I'm sure we'll get to know you more as time goes on. And can anybody remember the last topic we did on emotional roller coaster where we had our guest talk about her sister who told her about everything about menopause. That is our sister right there. So Queen Kumbi is her sister, is the sister of Coach Tuski. So glad to have you on as well. We'll go straight into the questions. And Queen Yinka, what role does nutrition play in managing menopause symptoms like hot flashes, weight gain, and mood swings?
A big role it plays. So for a woman, let's take it to our nutritional needs change as we grow, right? So from puberty to pregnancy and now to menopause. And when we talk about menopause, what are the things that women have issues with menopause? So we think about the heart. So food that will help the heart is very important in menopause. So things like your omega 3s, your vitamin D, so you can get many of these. This is why I say it's good to eat a rainbow. So when you eat very colorful foods, you're getting those nutrients in a yes, supplement does come into it, but eating colorful food gives you the opportunity to eat different varieties of nutrients, right? So you're pretty much covering all angles. So that's that for the heart health. So when we talk about mood swing, so which we will relate it to our mental, obviously that's emotional. So our mental and emotional health. So what are some of the things that we should be eating to help us to stay sharp, and also making sure our emotions are not undulating as they tend to do. So we think about things like your vitamin C, your vitamin E, which also you can get from your foods. Well, yes, food is not, they're not like they used to be, which is why supplementation also comes into it. But before we go, buying, and yes, we do just get desperate because we want to be able to alleviate many of the symptoms. Yes, we go and buy supplements. Yes, some of them we don't need to have tests for, but it's recommended that you should do like blood tests, especially when you're considering things like your B vitamins, which is also good for your nerves, which is good, for fatigue as well as the magnesium. All of those comes into it. Making what we refer to as, so GI simply means how you eat gets turned into glucose. So how insulin helps up, because glucose is the fuel that we need anyway. So we want to think about foods that is not so high, that's not so high up in the GI chat. And I don't want to go into too much of a definition of that, but what I'm trying to say is making sure we're eating foods that are colorful. So you're looking at your fruits and your vegetables, lots of grains, making sure you're hydrating, because when we even talk about hot flushes and night sweats, hydration plays a key role in that as well. So if you're not drinking enough water, that can affect the intensity and the frequency of things like hot flushes. When it comes to your weight, like I said already, eating foods like low GI foods, making sure we're eating healthy, as close as they recommend eating as close to the Mediterranean diets as much as possible. And what does that look? Again, going back to my analogy of the rainbow, eating your fruits and vegetables. Our yam is good to eat that, less of the heavy protein, more plant-based protein, your legumes, your beans, your chickpeas, your tofu, all of those, just bringing those in to your diet will help regulate those moods, will help with the mental alertness, will also help with things like the hot flushes. Avoid things that will, I think that's one of the questions we'll get later about, so I won't go too much into that, about things to avoid when you have hot flushes. So I'll leave it at that. But bottom line, eating a colorful meal pretty much at every meal. And one of the ways you can do that is making sure you're eating a salad. So making sure you're having a nice big salad with your meals. If not every meal, but at least one big salad a day will help with getting those nutrients. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much. So, in fact, you've kind of summarized it into having a colorful diet. So, if all you're seeing in your plate is white, it's not. If all you're seeing is just yellow, only corn or whatever yellow food is there, it's not right. It should be multicolored. That's what. Yeah, that's so. And you find most of that in veggies and every other food, every food. Even when, but wait, when you're eating beans, what colors can you mix? Well, beans as in Nigerian beans, so because
Yeah.
there's 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 the baked beans and all of that. Well, we don't want to go there. Let's
Well,
not. Let's
you
not
can
go
still
there.
have your Nigerian beans and have your vegetables on the
How do
side.
you make that colorful? I'm just
So you
wondering.
have your plates of beans and then you
Mhm.
have your vegetables on the side. That's colorful. So you
Okay.
can even have, even if you're having your beans in one bowl or one plate, and then you also have your salad. One of the things I get my family and I to do is try to eat our salad before the meal. So there you go. So you have that color,
All
and then you also
right.
have your beans afterwards. So you're having the combination because it's all going down there anyway.
Okay. So not necessarily having it all together in one plate.
Yeah, well, it's good to have it all together in one place, depending on the meal, really. But
Meal,
like I
yes.
said, it's just making sure we're getting it there. When it's all on one plate, it's more appealing, and
Yes.
you want to eat it.
Mm. Okay, okay, great. I'm sure people are already thinking of innovative ways of making their plates colorful. So thank you very much. Thank you to all our viewers who are here watching. Thank you. If there's anyone who you think needs to learn from this, either a man or a woman, call them in, let them come and learn, because we are all here to learn. Thank you very much. And that takes me to the next question, which you'll be answering still. Queen. Oh, sorry, it's not that one. It's this one. Which foods are best for balancing hormones naturally during menopause or perimenopause?
Okay, so similarly to what I said before, And so let's go back to, like you just said, about the perimenopause. So we want to focus on things like we call the phytoestrogen. So
Mm,
foods like your tofu, like your soya, like your chia seeds, all of those, you need to make sure you're having those in perimenopause. And I want to focus on nutrients now. So we talk about iron, your irons as well. For someone that's going through the perimenopause and are still having periods, it's important that you're
mm,
getting enough iron. When you're in postmenopause, you don't need as much iron because, of course, you're not having regular periods. You want to focus on foods like your green leaf vegetables, like gives you your calcium, and you also talk about managing those hormones as well with things like your omega 3s, which you get
mm,
from your mackerel, which you get from your oily fish, salmon, nuts and seeds like that. So foods like that will help to. Oats is a good one to have as well. You also have what we call lignan, which also helps to regulate the hormones, as not as best as we can naturally during the menopause, or transition into the menopause, should I say. So bottom line is, eat again, going back to eating that rainbow, adding all
mm.
those seeds, the chia seed, the flax seed. I almost forgot that one. Very important. Someone did say flax seed should be every woman's friend. So making sure we're having the flax seed. Best when you grind it, because you are able to get the nutrient from the flax seed better. I think they said when you grind it, it's now called linseed. But anyhow, when you grind the flaxseed, you can put it on your salad, you can put it on your, sprinkle it. Oh yeah, there you go. So yeah, so eating that will help us to balance those hormones naturally. Eat colorful, eat colorful. Can't say it, I can't say it enough.
All right. Okay, there we go. So we need all the colorful food we can get. You can put it all together. Okay, this is giving me an idea now. All right, great. Thank you very much. That takes us to our next question with Queen Kafilat. How can diet help manage hot flushes and night sweats? Oh, sorry, that's not your. Sorry, beg your pardon. What are the best sources of calcium and vitamin D for women going through menopause to maintain bone health?
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we
Can you
can.
hear me? Yeah. Um. Um. Having a okay, calcium sources. Having a balanced diet is very important. Like Queen Yinka said, uh, having um a colorful plate
Yeah.
is very important. And some sources of calcium are dairy products like yogurt, cheese, milk, dairy products like that, as much as your system can tolerate.
Mm,
Mhm. And we have the leafy greens, vegetables, fortified foods. There are some foods that have calcium in them already, that are fortified with calcium, like some juice, cereals, soy, almonds. Then we have a fish. You can get calcium from fishes, like salmon, sardines, then from nuts and seeds, almonds, um, uh, um, sesame seed, you know, some seeds are nuts like that. Then legumes, your beans are a good source of calcium. Then we go to for vitamin D, we have the sunlight, which is the natural source of vitamin D. The body also produces its own vitamin D. Then we have a fatty fish, fortified food, egg yolks, mushrooms. They are all good sources of vitamin D. Then we have supplements.
mm,
So you get as much as you can from your diet, from being intentional about your diet.
yeah.
Also, supplement is another good source of having calcium and vitamin D. So you want to speak to your healthcare provider as to when you are choosing a supplement. Uh-huh. Then incorporating a balanced diet, we said that, and having a regular exercise so
Yeah.
that you can have regular exercise in order to have a healthy bone, in order to maintain healthy bones during menopause. So um, these are the sources:
Yeah.
calcium, vitamin D. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
What
diet.
what would lack of calcium or vitamin D cause? And I know, yes, we need that because as women, as you grow older, you need more of those things in your body. But if there's lack of it, apart from you having all those symptoms of menopause, what else can it affect? Even for those who are not women who are watching now, maybe the men, what is lack of vitamin D or calcium to the body? Sorry.
It can impact the bone health.
Yes.
Can cause more of osteoporosis,
Hmm.
making the bone more fragile than it should be. So it can impact the bone health. And, you know, that's majorly like calcium impacts the bone health, even vitamin D too. So every nutrient, vitamins, minerals, we need them in adequate proportion for normal
Yeah.
healthy overall well-being.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have had it all. We need calcium for our bones. We need to help ourselves whichever way we can, because all of these vitamins are really important, as we have heard from Queen Kafilat. Thank you very much. Now, the next question, Queen Kumbi. How can diet help manage hot flushes and night sweats?
To
Okay, uh, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
can you
How?
hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so to answer that question, because I want to answer it from a personal point of view,
Hmm.
because a lot of times I think the reason why we're having this program is that um, menopause just creeps on most of us. We are completely unprepared for it, most people, and we just wake up one day and this thing starts to happen and we really feel that life is about ending. So, in trying to answer that question, I want to look. I think most of us that we are having this conversation, we are menopausal women, but I think there will be some other women that at some point in time they will listen in. And I think to just answer that question, I want to answer it in three broad areas. So, how can diet affect night sweat and what else? Just night sweat.
And night, well, hot flashes and night sweats.
So, to start with, I want to answer it from my own point of view. I just discovered one day that I will wake up and my bed will be wet. I will be at work. The nature of my work requires that I stand 6 to 8 hours, 9 to 5. And in the middle of my work, it's like one strange vein will just come to the back of my head and do zoom. And then I feel as if I'm under a dryer. And before I can say Jack Robinson, I'm struggle not to feel faint.
Hmm.
And thankfully, because of the nature of my work, I quickly picked up. But I discovered that one of the things that helped to reduce the intensity of that is the three highs that I want to share with us, particularly women that are not yet menopausal or they are already menopausal. The first I is you have to have an intent. You have to be intentional with your diet. So they say that to be forewarned is to be foreharmed. Um, it's very important for us not to wait for menopause before we start changing our diet.
Hmm.
The other I is what is the implementation of this diet. And then the last I is what is the impact of the diet. So the best thing to do is to have a preventative diet so that you might not even have the night sweat or the hot flushes, or at least reduce it to a minimum. So the first thing is that from very, very early, maybe from your 30s, because menopause can come very early for some women. My own younger sister became menopausal in her early 40s. So anytime from your 30s, you should start to make sure that water is your friend. You drink it religiously. You drink it intentionally. You drink it voraciously. You are very, very concerned about the amount that you take in. That's number one. So the intent of doing that is that you are preparing, and there's a section of our brain that's known as the hypothalamus. So the hypothalamus controls our expression of tiredness. So when you yawn, and even your balance or the temperature center of your body is controlled by the hypothalamus. Now, when we are drinking water, even before we get to the menopausal age, it reduces the imbalance that happens in our brain. So it's like you are already making a preparation for drought before it happens. The implementation of that is that any good intention that is planless will not work. So if you want to implement staying hydrated, then you must have water around you. When I suddenly discovered that I will have this person at the back of my head, it does zzz, and I feel so hot. Everybody in the house is saying, open the window, it's hot. And I am saying, it's cold. I am saying, I am hot. The first thing that we did was that very close to my bed, we bought a refrigerator, a tiny one, like the one that you have in the hotels, because I cannot take normal room temperature water. Then beside my bed, I bought these tiny bottles of water, because sometimes you don't sleep well as a menopausal woman. And if you get chance to sleep, you don't want to spoil that sleep by standing up to bring water. So on the side of my bed, I will put a bottle. If I turn, I will take a drink. And I tell you, the effect was phenomenal. The frequency with which I have night sweat, the frequency with which I have hot flush has reduced dramatically. What is the impact? That we are talking about water now. What is the impact? It's not only that it will remove the hot flush or the night sweat, your skin will glow. People will begin to argue about your age. They are saying, what are you using? I am from the village. I very rarely use, I think the best makeup that I use is lip balm. I think it was on my 50th birthday that I just put tiny. I don't, outside of using normal sunscreen and a good soap, I don't use, but you will see people will comment on the glow of your skin. So the impact, when you know that you can shed as much as 10, 15 years without surgery, just by number one, taking water, that will help you to do something about implementing it. And then your diet in terms of, I don't know about other women, but by the time you get to your 40s, mid 50s, menopause or no menopause, that's another thing that I want to make mention of. We need to question our answer, not only answer the question. Everything is not menopause. Because with or without menopause, your body is aging.
Yeah.
And as your body is aging, some things will slow down, including your gastrointestinal activities. Your stomach has worked 30, 40 odd years eating all manner of things. You need to put a stop to that, number one. And if you have not gotten to that age, you need to have an intent. Stop eating. I need to stop. I don't play with my food. I honestly don't play with my food. I eat very well, but we need to put inside of our stomach the things that will make the engine to work properly. One of the things that makes us to sweat naturally is our metabolic processes. Now that slows down as we age and as we become menopausal women. So you want to begin to eat things that will not put pressure on your intestinal capacity. Do away with processed food. Just say bye-bye to them. If from a very young age, and I say that with a lot of carefulness and humility, I know everything that enters into my mouth and how much of it I'm eating and what is the weight of what I am eating. So we should remove ourselves from processed food. Don't eat things that will put pressure. Go away from red meat, for heaven's sake. I'm not saying I still take red meat. I still take it, but let it be minimal. Take what we call fast, slow twitch muscles, red, white meat, chicken breast. If you are not, if your religion does not say no, take pork, take snail. Snail has selenium. You will stop sweating. Take fish. Some people will say, oh, those things are very expensive, but death is also expensive. Are very expensive. Aging is expensive. Creaking here and creaking there, turning like this and turning like that, fainting at work, losing your job is expensive. So we need to decide which expense is cheaper. And one of the things we can do is one, you have to be intentional. I have to be intentional. Change the rice. Do you know that some of the food that we are eating can make you to have these hot flushes even at 30? Because the grinding and the pounding of enzymic processes trying to break those terrible stuff can also generate it because of negative feedback that your body is trying to accommodate all of the nonsense that I'm putting in. So what I am saying is that when we want to minimize, let us start before menopause.
Okay.
That's what we should be peddling. Don't wait till menopause. Before menopause, remember the 3 highs. Intent, be intentional about hydration. What is the implementation? If you have a desire, but you don't put plan, make sure that the water is around you. I carry one in my bag everywhere and anywhere I go. There's one in the car. There's one everywhere. So it's easy for me to be hydrated. In the night, put some beside your bed. And what is the impact? The impact is that people will look at you and they will argue about your age. You don't need makeup. Makeup is good, it's fantastic. I'm not saying makeup is bad, but you shouldn't resort to makeup because you want to hide how you look. Water, food, hydration, and the kind of food. Don't stress your stomach. Will make, particularly when you are doing it, consistency is the name of the game. Don't just start and get tired. Once you know what happens, once we feel the symptoms reducing, we stop. There's continuity, there's consistency, there has to be commitment.
Okay, we have a question. Someone says, I agree to the water intake. Naomi Adote, thank you very much. And for those who are still asking questions, it says, I agree to the water intake, but the runs to the loo at night spoils my long awaited night sleep. How do we balance this?
So what I do is I have come to understand averagely what, for my own, I don't know about other women, but for what reduce the hot flashes for me and that I'm sweating, I have come to understand that if during the day I stop drinking water, once I sleep not too early, depending on the kind of things that I have to do. But once it's around 3 or 4 hours to bed, I don't drink water again. Because I know if I drink water close to going to bed, then the visit to the toilet will happen. So what I do is that I build up the amount of water. I take as much as I can take before I go to bed. And then when I wake, I don't know about other people. I think most of us will wake at least once in the night. If whether you take water, I don't know about you, but I wake once or twice in the night. That once or twice, because there's another bottle of water beside my bed, I will take a quick sip and then I'm back to. And if I don't get to do that, anyway, I have a store because of what I have taken in the day. So because our bodies are different, I dare say that after the first couple of years of being menopausal, if you are eating the right kind of food, drinking the right amount of water, even the visit to the loo will reduce.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So we see that. So even the visit to the toilet will reduce if we take the right amount. Thank you. I've heard this said, what is right amount of water? Because in the tropical region, I think it's 3 liters. But in a cold place like where some of us are, Atlantis is 2 liters. Am I right or wrong?
I think.
Oh, I can't hear you.
I can't hear anymore.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to say with carefulness that the amount of water that we take is reflective of our metabolic processes. So for instance, here is winter. My metabolic process will not demand a lot of intake of water because I'm not losing any. I'm not sweating. Temperature is rather cold. If I were back in Nigeria, temperature is 35, doing the same kind of work I am doing, then I will need more water. But the acid test for whether water that you are taking, whether the doctor says 2 liters or 10 liters or you are in winter, is check your mirror. The acid test is that once you press your finger or your skin, any part of your skin, and it goes inside and it doesn't come up, you don't have enough water. That's the acid test. So you can press here, any portion of your skin, you press it and the indent goes inside and it doesn't come out. Then you are dehydrated. It doesn't matter how many gallons you have already taken. For that person, the water intake is still not enough.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for that. We have another question. Thank you to those. Okay, Kunyinka says amount of water depends also on the body composition, weather, physical activity levels. We shouldn't wait till we are thirsty before we drink water. Thank you very much for that. Thank you to those who have joined in. Thank you. I can see more people are joining us. Thank you very much. Please spread the news. Let people learn. Let people hear how to help their mothers, their fathers, their sisters, and their wives on menopausal stages of life. Now, Gloria Wusu says, "Hey, Bumi, please, is body pain part of menopause?" Who's going to answer that? Is body pain part of menopause? We can't hear you, Queen Kumbi. Anyone wants to answer?
And that's why I am saying that we need to question the answer. And it's a dangerous, very dangerous thin line. Everything is not menopause. So the rule of thumb is for you to first know your body. Know your body. For instance, if you have been I tried to do a little exercise. I did some day before yesterday. I'm having body pain. That is certainly not menopause. That's my body telling me I'm doing the right thing. That's certainly not menopause. When I go to work with my heels and I've been on my feet for 6 hours, talking straight and using saliva power, and I sit down at home, that is certainly not menopause. That is response to stimuli. So everything is not menopause. And we have to be careful so we don't have health conditions, serious health conditions that are symptomatic, and we are saying it's menopause. So if something is happening to us, I don't know, this private chat is, can you still hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So if something is happening to us, we need to, what is that thing that we say in my area of study? We need to chart the journey of that symptom.
Okay. Thank you.
When did it start? So let us not say that everybody pain is, it could be menopause, but it doesn't have to be menopause. It could be
Okay.
response to stimulus, and unfortunately, it could be some other medical issues.
So see your doctor. I think that's the summary. Thank you. Thank you very much. We need to question. Queen Yinka, you said something in the private chat. What was it? You want to voice it out before we go to the next
Oh,
question?
that was just yes, I remember now. Now I always say we should become body detective. You should always question things. You have a headache, you need to question it. You have a pain, you need to question it. Yeah, and just don't make assumption that everything is related to the menopause.
Okay, great. One other question before we go. Oh, it's still on food. All right. Amanda Ahima, thank you very much for joining. It says, evening, ma'am. Is it recommended to take folic acid during this fiery phase of life? I don't know what that. Maybe that's our chemistry
I think
teacher will tell us what that is if it's related to
that's
chemistry.
for Q10. That's one of
Oh,
the
okay.
that's a supplement, and yeah.
Okay.
Um,
So,
I don't know if you were here before when I said about supplementation. Yes, we need to supplement. Well, not we need, but it's recommended. But the first thing I always say to people is have your talk with your healthcare provider, do a blood test before you go out and start buying supplements and supplementing. Because if perhaps you're on other medication, there can be some contraindication. Then that means you don't want to be mixing supplements and all that. So yes, please, first thing, speak to your doctor.
speak to your doctor. Yes, thank you very much. And we have another one. Is which other food apart from snails have enough selenium? I think
Right.
Queen Kumbi, you
Brazilian
mentioned
nuts.
the selenium, snails and all that.
I think food like kale, I don't know how, pumpkin seeds. And the reason why I'm mentioning some of these is because they are generic. They are not in any place. Most places, for instance, most of us of African descent, we like our egusi soup. Instead of using the normal egusi seed, if you get the pumpkin seed and you grind it, it makes exactly fantastic egusi soup. You can't tell the difference except that the taste and those other supplements, those other things that are very good for your body is part of it. So you can see nuts, some of our nuts, even eggs. There's this kind of egg, guinea fowl egg. I don't know how, but it's very, you can get to buy in Nigeria. You can get to buy here too, if you know where to get it. So some of those things, they contain selenium, and that is very good for our mental capacity, particularly when you start to forget stuff. You want to take your key in the bedroom, you are there and you are standing in front. Why am I in the room? You have forgotten.
That happens a lot. Okay. Queen Yinka says sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, Brazilian nuts, some mushrooms. Yes, mushrooms as well, as we can see on there. Thank you very much. We'll go on to the next question, which is also for you, Queen Kumbi. I think like a summary of what you said. Can you give us some healthy snacks? Considering different cultures, like you said, some may not be found in some parts of the world. Where is that question now? Okay, I'll find it. So the question is, what are some healthy snacks snack ideas for combating menopause related fatigue and maintaining steady energy levels throughout the day.
If I may say, for as many people that believe in God, God is a very kind God. There's no part of the world where we don't have peppers and we don't have fruits. Every country in the globe have those ones. And they are the best snack ever. You won't believe. Try it and you will thank me later. You
What's the
know
name
our
again? Sorry.
red
What's
pepper,
oh red
red
pepper?
pepper, the one they call tatase in Nigeria.
Yes.
You
Or
know what I do?
bell
I
pepper.
just cut it. You will do away with your chin chin and your chocolate if you take a bite. I promise you. So the best snack for us, because most of us or some of us, we are very busy professional women you don't have the time to be cooking and cooking and cooking. So the rule of thumb is that make sure you have fruits in the house. Make sure you have vegetables. If you put your kale inside, I don't know, that thing that we dry fryer, just put a bit of salt, 5 minutes, it becomes your chips. You can do a lot. Put it in a tin, put it in the kitchen. You are hungry, go there, and you are telling your brain, I love you, because that forgetfulness will leave. So every country has pepper, every country has pineapple, every country has oranges. You won't believe the amazing benefits of oranges. Every country has vegetables. I think some countries, at least in the UK, we have rice crisps, not the one that they have ruined with chocolate, the raw rice crisps. Oh, come on. You put that in your mouth, you are thanking my Jesus. So if you want to have healthy snacks and you don't want to waste time, go get your peppers, your tomatoes, your vegetables, kale, pineapple, banana, oranges. Breadsticks are also good. Rice crisps are also good. In this side of the world, I don't know whether it's the same in Nigeria or other countries. You have parsnips, carrots that you can quickly cut, put a bit of salt and honey, shove it in your dry fryer, it becomes chips. You do a lot, put it aside, you are hungry, you are delivered from chin chin that will make you fat and round. Those are some of the things that I do.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much for that. So remember, yeah, we're in school today, so we've got a teacher teaching us all sorts. Thank you very much for dishing it out. Thank you. Queen Kafilat, how does caffeine and alcohol affect menopause symptoms, and should women consider reducing their intake? Over to you, Queen
Yes.
Kafilat.
Okay. Caffeine and alcohol can have effects on menopause symptoms, and uh, they have their impact, and it varies from individual to individual. But I think the best thing to do is to reduce the intake of these two products. Like the caffeine can exacerbate certain menopause symptoms like hot flashes, and it can cause sleep disturbances because it's a stimulant, and it can also increase the heart rate and potentially lead to anxiety, and it may worsen the mood swings or irritability during this phase. So you want to cut down on your consumption of caffeine, and it can also impact the quality of sleep,
Yeah.
okay, which is already a challenge for women in this phase. So you want to cut down on your caffeine as much as possible. Then the alcohol also influence some menopause symptoms. Um, some women take it in moderate quantity. They feel it helps them to relax, but it can also lead to increased hot flashes and night sweats for others. So
It can destroy alcohol can also disrupt the sleep patterns and they contribute to mood swings and feelings of depression.
Yeah.
So it can also interact with some certain medications, you
Mm.
know. So um, you want to try as much as possible to cut down or completely eliminate alcohol if that's possible, so that it will not worsen the symptoms, already challenging symptoms of menopause. Um, and
Okay.
that's it.
So yeah, thank you. So we need to cut down for people who are into that. And you know, people some people say, "Oh, I can't do without my coffee in a day. It keeps me going and all that." So what do you say
One
to
needs
them?
to check how you respond to
Mm,
each thing you take. I've always said this is a new phase, and as challenging as it is, it requires you to study yourself all over again. You have to study yourself, how you interact with everything you take. I've told you of someone whose best food became a trigger for mood swing.
mm,
So you want to study yourself all over again. What you used to take, your body may not tolerate it when you get to menopausal phase. So you want to study yourself again, how you react to each food or whatever you take. You want to check how your body interacts with every food, every kind of meal. Just have to explore your body again. So
yeah.
if coffee, someone is used to coffee and she's comfortable taking it, it's okay. But if it triggers something, nobody needs to tell that woman that she needs to flee from coffee.
Just
So so it depends on how your body responds to each item, each food you take, the coffee, alcohol, or whatever. Just
yeah.
give yourself that opportunity to study your body all over again. Mm.
Mm.
And make
Thank
the
you.
necessary adjustments. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. There's one question here talking about constipation, but I would like us actually to take a break and drink some water rather than having it all stretched out. So, yeah, 1 minute before we answer that question about constipation. Let's take a
Subscribe to my Welcome to Dr. Bummy Able TV, where we inspire and inform you endlessly with knowledge to guide, uplift, and grow. Thank you for joining, it's a journey, let's go. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. From wisdom to insight, each video's a gift, helping you rise, giving your spirit a lift. So hit that subscribe, stay tuned to see all the great things on Dr. Bummy Able TV. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store.
Yes, we're so glad you're here. There's so much in store. Thank you very much, Queen Kumbi. Thank you very much, Queen Yinka and Queen Kafilat. You are awesome. Thank you to our guests, those who have been writing comments, questions. Thank you. You're making it so interactive, and this is what we want. So back to the question of Amanda Ehima. She says, constipation, terrible constipation. Why this and how do I combat this? Anyone ready to answer?
This is where we hail estrogen. Estrogen has got such a massive role in the body, and one of them being he helped regulate fluid in the body. So therefore, we tend to have harder stool. So what I want to throw it back to you now, saying I'm going to ask you. So what is your eating like? And also one of the things that women tend to do is, because we're starting to put on the weight, we reduce our calories. So therefore, if you're not taking much in, you can't bring much out as well. You want to look at your hydration. We've talked about the water, fiber, high fiber foods. Make sure you're having enough fiber in your food. That would help as well. Stress. It's amazing how stress has a huge impact on our bodies. Honestly, it's like I'm trying to find the right words to describe the menopause itself, but like Queen Adekunbi said before, we need to be proactive when it comes to these things. So what is your water intake? Is that when you ask people, say, oh, are you drinking water? Yeah, I drink enough water. And okay, how much water do you really drink? So we underestimate the value of water. So those are some of the things I would say, the water, making sure you're eating high fiber foods. And if you're stressing, you're stressing everybody's stressed, right? But we need to learn to manage that, because that impacts on our digestion, impacts on how food flows. And because estrogen, like I said before, we need to heal estrogen. It helps with the movement of food in the body. So of course, if we're losing it as we come to menopause, then that has an impact on things like bloating, indigestion, and in this case, constipation. All right.
Okay, thank you.
One second, please.
All right.
I just wanted to add to the fact that the issue of our digestive process that sometimes leads to constipation. One of the things that I have found, because I think most menopausal women will experience that. For me, what has been helpful is for me to change also the time of my eating. So I try the best I know how to, within the limits of some of my responsibilities, not to eat anytime after 8 p.m. And also activity and more activity. If you are one of those people that maybe for some reasons you don't like to exercise and all of that, make sure you are walking, keep the body moving. And there are some kind of food that we might try to move away from, at least at particular times of the day. Legumes, proteins are very good, but they can add to constipation if it's taken late in the night. And if you must take legumes, then make a switch. If you're like me, if you are of African descent, don't eat red beans. Take lentils, take barley, take bulgur wheat. That reduces the chances of flatulence that will be symptomatic of constipation. And make sure that you are always active. I know that we come from different places in the world with different cultural values, but as we get to this wonderful age, we need to do away with all of the helps in the house help, gardeners, and all of that. You have to keep moving, otherwise your body will stop. The cook, even if they are coming 7 days of the week, reduce it to do something yourself, because your body is slowing down. The metabolic processes is reducing. If you're not moving, the engine can stop.
True. Thank you very much. Thank you. So it's a time of exploring your body again, exploring your body again to see what works for you and what doesn't. And until you try it, you wouldn't know. So thank you very much for those questions. We go on to the next one, talking about weight gain. It says, what? No, I think we've talked about this one already. This one, Queen Cafield. No, we've talked about that. I'm trying to look for the next one. I think okay. The next one should be, what types of food should a woman avoid to help manage weight gain commonly associated with menopause? What kind of food
Okay.
meant to avoid?
Okay. Okay. Number one is sugary foods and beverages, high sugar items such as candies, pastries, sodas, and the sweetened beverages. They can lead to increased calorie intake and contribute to weight gain. So, and they can also spike the sugar levels in the blood. So, and this can lead to uh, energy crashes and cravings. So, you want to cut down on sugary foods and the beverages as much as possible. Then another one is refined carbohydrates, foods made with a white flour, uh, like white bread, pasta, many baked foods, They somehow have a way of increasing the blood sugar, and so you want to opt for um, substitutes made from whole grains instead of those ones from a white flour, um, like that. Those ones contain more fiber and they slow down the release of sugar. So then another one is a high fat processed food, unhealthy fats. You want to cut down on them or avoid them totally. Fried food, cut down fried food or reduce your usage of oil. You want to use oil sparingly, you know. So, and alcohol, you want to cut down alcohol. Alcohol can be high in calories and they can also lead to overheating. They can disrupt sleep, and you need good quality sleep for you to maintain healthy weight. So you don't want something to take alcohol in order not to disrupt your sleep pattern. Um, High calorie snacks too must be avoided. Uh, um, Something like chips, cookies, other processed snacks. They are calorie dense and they are low in nutritional value. So you want to opt for more of healthier snacks like fruits, vegetables, nuts in moderation that are beneficial. Okay, so like, and another way of one has to be intentional about her diet at this phase. And one way to achieve that is to plan ahead. I do tell people you need to plan ahead. You don't wait till you are hungry before you start looking for what to eat. Because when you get hungry before you eat, you'll be craving for all those high sugar, high carbohydrate food. Because whatever you take by that time may not give you satisfaction. You may not feel satisfied. So you want to plan ahead. Have some carrots, some cucumbers handy, some fruit handy that you know when to time yourself and take, so that you not go too hungry and your body will not be craving for um, high sugar in order to um, become satisfied. So, so high calorie snacks you have to cut down them and replace them with the fruits and vegetables and nuts. Full fat dairy products. Uh, you need dairy products, but you want to opt for you want to avoid the full fat versions because they are more higher in calories and saturated fat. So you want to opt for the low fat or non-fat dairy options. So they help to manage calorie intake. Then another thing to avoid is high sodium foods. Processed and packaged foods are often high in level of sodium. So and they can lead to water retention and bloating. So you want to cut down your sodium intake for overall weight management and then improve well-being. Then you have to cut down your portions, you know. So whatever you are taking, as you are avoiding those um, food that are high in calorie, even the healthy ones, you still want to mind your portions. So you want to avoid large portions. So um, and consume your food in uh, choose healthy options and have a moderate or small portions so that you can manage your caloric intake. And so you want to focus on having a balanced diet, whole foods, including fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. And then you want to incorporate regular physical activity and in order to have a proper weight management. So I think that's all for now.
Thank you very much. So we've heard it all, and the other questions I feel there will be like repetition. So I'll just say, is there anything else anyone wants to add? So I'll give you like 1 minute each to just round up, and maybe there's something you were supposed to say you thought, oh, I need to say this. Please, it's your time. But before then, thank you very much to Funke Atiba. Thank you very much for your comment. It says, wow, these are vital information. Thank you very much. Thank you to Amanda Ehima too. says thanking every one of you for helping with the questions. Thank you very much. And to Adejoke Adeneya, talking about selenium. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you also to Naomi Adote and Gloria Wusu, and for others who are listening behind the scene and contributing their nods and their yes, you're right to the conversation. Thank you very much. So before we call it a day or a night, is there anything anyone wants to say as a summary, as a way of summarizing everything that's been said? I'll call on, okay, let me take this off the screen so we can see our faces more. So I'll call on, okay, somebody else is saying thank you. And that is, sorry, thanks for this and the series. That is Orem Morire Lebaldon. Thank you very much, our queens. Thank you. Oh, we've got another comment saying, stress, yes, water, I drink like a camel. Okay, great. So good. Thank you very much. Over to you, ladies, our queens. Please, 1 minute summary. What do you want others to hear about nutrition? Last words for today.
I just want to remind us about the 3 I's: intent, implementation, and impact. And for the people that like their coffee, you need to do away with caffeine. But if you get your soya bean, you peel it, you roast it, and you grind it, it is exactly the same taste, the same smell as your coffee. Go and try it and thank me later.
Okay, great. Anyone else?
I just want to say that good nutrition is essential for everybody, both people within peri-menopause, post-menopause, and people in pre-menopause, even for young children, for everybody. So it's just that menopause exposes people who have not been living right. So because every loophole will be exposed. So it's just that normal thing, that normal healthy lifestyle that is required of everybody, being deliberate, being intentional, preparing ahead for what to take, studying your body, going for your normal checkups and everything. Every tip, healthy living tip that is required for normal healthy living is what you still need in your menopausal phase. And it affords you the opportunity to study your body again and see how you interact with events, with stress, with your work, with your diet, and everything that concerns you. So it's an opportunity to explore and discover ourselves again. Thank you.
Right. I mean, for me, I will say to be that body detective, question everything.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're back. Welcome back.
My internet just played. Please carry on talking.
Yeah. I was just saying that for me, it would be, being that body detective, asking why, perhaps be that annoying 2-year-old that's always questioning everything. Because when we ask those questions, we will get the answers. Right. And eat a rainbow, it will seem like, we're repeating everything again, but I think we need to repeat for emphasis. Healthy lifestyle, whether you're pre, post, we need to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. We've come to the end of it all. And, I have nothing else to add to it. It's all been said. If you need that information again, please go and rewatch. It's the same link. We need to study our bodies all over again. And so actually, I think about we women, we've been blessed. I don't want to use the other word. Blessed that every stage of life is like your puberty. Oh, there's always something going on. When it's time to give birth, something going on. When you're breastfeeding, oh, you can't eat this food or it will affect the baby. Hey, after that, once you finish that phase of giving birth, now you're going to menopause. You'll have to study your body again. Wow, we are blessed. Nothing, no other word to use. We are blessed. Thank you very much for all you've been able to teach us today. And next week, it's about the workplace. Menopause in the workplace, breaking the stigma. I know, is it Queen Toby or Tommy? One of them, she's a champion at workplace menopause talk. So hopefully we'll get to hear more from her. Next week, Friday, the 15th of November, we will be having our talk. So it's going to be Friday for talk 6. And thank you very much, ladies. I can't thank you enough. Thank you. Thank you very much for educating every one of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, thank you very much. So I'll let you go. Thank you very much and see you later. All right, viewers, you've heard it all from our queens. They are the queen of all of this discussion because they've gone through it. They are experiencing. They have all the details, and this is what they do every day. So please get ready to join us next week, and please invite somebody. And as we go, I will say, have a good evening. Drink a lot of water. Take care of that beautiful body the Lord you've been given, and let us keep shining and glowing because we're worth it as queens. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Dr. Bummy Able TV, where we inspire and inform you endlessly with knowledge to guide, uplift, and grow. Thank you for joining. It's a journey. Let's go. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here. There's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. From wisdom to insight, each video's a gift. Helping you rise, giving your spirit a lift. So hit that subscribe, stay tuned to see all the great things on Dr. Bummy Able TV. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game. To all the new subscribers, welcome aboard. We're so glad you're here, there's so much in store. Returning friends, thank you once again. Together we'll learn and share the game.